For his intense and multifaceted professional life as a historian, philosopher, journalist, and politician, the original mixture of political realism, humanism, and liberal idealism, and for being a necessary benchmark to guide us in a present time charged with wars, political polarization, and threats to freedom. The jury has bestowed the award on Michael Ignatieff.
Your Majesties, Your Highnesses, distinguished and illustrious authorities, laureates, ladies and gentlemen, my Spanish friends, when you're honored like this with a prize presented by the Royal House in such awe-inspiring circumstances, your first thought is, do I deserve this? But the moment that thought crosses your mind, you hear Prince Hamlet. Prince Hamlet exclaims that if we all got what we deserved, who should escape whipping? So it's best then not to dwell on deserving. Just be grateful, my wife says, and I am, very. Still, prizes are a reckoning with yourself. You can't help asking, how does the work stack up? What was I trying to accomplish all those years? At which point, since I am Isaiah Berlin's biographer, I find myself recalling his distinction between a hedgehog and a fox. The fox knows many things. The hedgehog knows one big thing. Isaiah Berlin used this gnomic fragment from an ancient Greek philosopher to make a distinction between two types of intellectual and artistic achievement. There is, Berlin wrote, a great chasm between those who relate everything to a single central vision and those who pursue many ends, often unrelated and even contradictory. So today, the Royal House is honoring many kinds of achievement: artistic, cultural, scientific, sportive. And some of my fellow prize winners are hedgehogs, and others are foxes. And I strongly suspect those great scientists down there are hedgehogs. But I ask myself, which one am I? Anyone who has been an essayist, a journalist, a filmmaker, a professor of history, a biographer, a theorist of human rights, and even, God help me, a politician, can be nothing but a fox. But there is a third possibility. There are some foxes who envy the steady, single-minded tenacity of the hedgehog, together with their ability to curl up in a ball and display their spikes when faced with attackers. Now, I'm one of those foxes who's always wanted to be a hedgehog. So it was very gratifying to hear the Asturias jury say of me, quote, that political realism, humanism, and liberal idealism comprise his fundamental concern. And that made me feel like a hedgehog, if only for a moment. The truth is, my friends, I cannot honestly say that I did have a single fundamental concern. Creative work is like climbing in the dark. Most of the time, you don't know where you're going. Some of the time, you don't know why you're doing it at all. It's only at a moment like this, when the clouds break and you stand on a summit, that you begin to understand the path that you have taken. Looking back now, I'd also confess how afraid I sometimes was of my fox's freedom, how afraid most of us are of freedom, how hard it is to maintain the sovereignty of our own judgment, to see the world as it is, not as we would wish it to be, how truly we must all struggle to be free men and women in a world saturated with manipulation and lies. Yet to call ourselves free and to actually deserve it is the prize that matters most in a life. Thank you, Princess, for this enormous honor. You've made one old fox very happy.